I'm not made in Colombia. I just think it's a cool hat though. But all right, scientific breakthroughs in the last, let's say, 20 years. Okay, so since like the 80s, the religious people went, well, is it 100% sure? And we were like, not 100%, but it lines up, you know. And we thought we were like 90% sure, but we were actually more like 70% sure. So, first major, if this is, I'm just going to do it anyway. First major scientific breakthrough since that shit, idiot fucking, it's not 100%, so we're not sure. Definitely believing in God still. Yes. Look, God gave us religion, the imagination, the evolution to a level of sentience that allowed us to believe that maybe there's a God is what made us religious. If you listen to what I'm saying about it. Anyway, and that made such an interesting topic that we did writing. That made us write and then read, and then we wanted to, it was such an interest. You mean the answers in this book? If I learn how to read, I'll get the answers to everything? I'll be one of the people that know everything. But then when you learn to read, you're like, it doesn't totally make sense. I mean, it's a good story. There's some good morals. It's part of our evolution, right? So my joke is, religion gave us reading gave us science, science is killing religion. It's a part of our history, it's a part of our evolution, it's all our morals and beliefs put into these beautiful stories that allow one person to be the fucking leader of everyone. Certain environments like the cold, you need to have someone take charge, okay? It's fucking, the king thing comes from the need to survive in the fucking freezing cold. Make hay where the sunshine means there's only sun 3 months a year, The rest of the time you're chitting around, but that 3 months you work like a dog. So those people, my people, English people came down here with that. When it's sunny, you work like a dog. And it's sunny all the damn time here. Like, I'm sorry, it's always sunny here. Anyway, 100 years later, we just keep doing it apparently because it makes idiots heaps of money, I suppose. By idiots, I mean people who own the company and are clearly not idiots. Everyone else just slaves away on minimum wage. They become the new kings and we become the new peasants. So obviously they're going to be, if you've got it, you're like, yeah, it's me, it's because I'm good. If you don't got it, you're like, oh, it's them, it's because they're not good. It's actually just putting money in competition as more valuable than people. But does religion help that, or does science help that the most? People think science is cold. I think the actual information is more fantastic than anything that we've made up. The religious stories are lovely. I looked at all of them, concluded it takes responsibility off the self for the self and blames something, another entity. So you got an excuse, basically. They're all the same. If you're in a foxhole, please help me, God. But if you live in a normal life, it's like, what's the best information for me to make my decisions, So, we were never monkeys is the first big one. 8 million years ago, we got hips facing forward. Primates got hips facing out. We were never monkeys. 7 million years ago, we started throwing stones. There's these markers, all these markers. Every million years there's another marker. Anyway, the 7 million years of throwing stones. Right now, one little human bipedal animal could not kill a animal, but 20 little human bipedal animals carrying 2 stones each could kill an animal. Someone's ringing. I feel like this is going to turn off soon. Now, this is my favorite because throwing stones made us work to clump together as a group, and in that process, we made a psychological, societal, communal decision to not pull each other's dicks and tits off. Right? Generals. Every other animal's got small generals because in a fight they grab each other's cock if they're big flopping around. We made a decision not to do that. That's why we have the biggest dicks and tits of all the animals. And we're prettier, I guess, because we've decided not to attack each other in the most vulnerable parts in a fight. No hitting their face, don't hit me in their dick, okay? Whoever wins, but let's not really hurt each other. That made us work together, which then obviously followed on to the friggin' Argyle bones at 420, or the Lucy bones at 360, which everyone thought was strange, but then the Argyle bones confirmed through testing that she was just an unusually small person, and people evolved in the way we thought they did. And then the Hadron Collider proved the Big Bang by giving us the cosmic microwave background radiation, which took us a couple of years to realise, which is a light source that moves a third the speed of our light. So we know where our light is, we know where we're going, therefore we know where the Big Bang was coming from and where it would be if that theory is correct. We can see the cosmic microwave background radiation, which has moved a third away, and ours has moved 2/3 more than the cosmic, whichever. Therefore, we can triangulate where the Big Bang is, and then therefore we can see it, because there's remnants of it throughout the different spectrums. There's like a boat leaves tails when it goes through the water. 13.8 billion years later, we can see some spectrums, we can see the trail of their movement. You see the Big Bang. That's how we know it happened, because we can see it. Also, the Hubble telescope, amazing. However, the James Webb telescope is 900 times more powerful than the Hubble. We have found 20,000 Earth-like planets that we will never get to, because they're moving away from us faster than we could most likely ever get cross that boundary, and without the aid of orbiting, you just get left behind, right? If say you've a bug jumping off a car, but you'd be in the gravitational pull of the galaxy. We might be able to fly around the galaxy, but once you get out of the galaxies, a bug flying off a car, chung, but a bug on a car is moving the same speed. So to get to those places, we would have to. It's fucking impossible. So, and anyway, even if it was like a 120,000 year trip, no human is. We're not going to. If we get technology that can last that long, what's the chances of us lasting? We might be able to send our embryos to another Earth-like planet, and in a couple 100,000 years, maybe. We're not going there. Burning our atmosphere in order to get to space is not a good move. No other planet has atmosphere. None that we can get to. Atmosphere is very important. We should not be just burning atmosphere up to prove that we can get out of the atmosphere. Anyway, but also I've got a design for a ship that I believe, would have 4,000 square meters at a pretty cheap price, and could possibly navigate the solars around the sun and actually follow the planets around the sun, and we could go around our solar system, and then we found an entire moon within our solar system that's full of methane, another one that's full of plutonium, or whatever. There's all these resources on these moons, and we figure out how to mine these moons. Amazing things. I mean, we're not going to get out of our solar. If we lose the sun, it's a 3 billion year arc back into the Milky Way. We're on the reason why we're here. There's 20,000 planets that we've found. We've done 20,000 trajectories. None of them have got you need a 4 billion year stability arc to create humans. We're on a 6 billion or 7 billion arc, so we're another 3 billion years before we go back into the Milky Way, and then we'll be crashing into some shit. But so we know life is common. We know on every planet that has life elements available, life will exist. As soon as life was possible here, it existed. We've proven that. All peer-reviewed a million times. Like the genome experiment, mapping migration. Look that one up. If you haven't, you need to. Am I talking about this? So the James Webb is 900 times more powerful than the Hubble. It's already sent back 5,000 gigabyte photos that it's going to take us 1,000 years to unpack the first photo. It's now done 20 photos, I think, at that quality from outside of our sun's solar system. Now, does it become a fly on a car at that point? Jump off the car keeps going, right? Get out away from our sun too much, lose your orbital gravitational pull, which I don't believe you have to get absolutely millimeter perfect or it's all going to fail. I'm pretty sure you can put the brakes on to speed up a little bit, you freaking wankers. But I get when you're dealing with a $50 billion aircraft, you want to check things. But it did a big wide view, 5,000 gigabytes, right? It's done multiple zoom-ins. We're doing more. And then there's some areas we want to zoom in even more. We've found some stuff. We estimate one planet in each galaxy will, from probability mathematical perspective, have a 4 billion year arc like us, and will have life, and maybe just like us, or maybe different. Would have been a different set of circumstances. Like say monkeys became sentient like us. They didn't do it in the same way. They didn't throw stones as a group and stop pulling each other's dicks and tits off. So their sentience was based on their evolution. Their sentience is based on their evolution. However, our sentience is based on, well, that's the first one, was walking. We walked, and hips started going forward. We went, instead of outward facing hips, we got forward facing hips. Then you have to walk. Your superpower is not climbing, your superpower is walking. So it takes 2 hours to walk to get the water. Or I can't leave the baby because it's going to take 3 hours. Or I can't leave the old person. Or it made us start thinking in terms of time, and then figuring things out. And the women who stayed around the campfire, because there was only 2 groups, and one group had to go and get shit, and the other group had to sit around with the babies and the old people, keep the fire going, look after shit, wait for the male group to get back. It's not sexism. One group had tits, the other group didn't have tits, and without 2 of us working together, until very recently, we couldn't survive. So, well, that's like most of the scientific breakthroughs, I suppose. I don't know if I finished them all, but if you want more information, hit me up. This probably didn't record properly, so anyway, whatever. Cheers, Gigi, Foggie's track, and Andy Coleman, and comedy and blah blah. Okay, cheers.